All right. Good morning, everyone. Antoine Thompson, Executive Director of the Greater Washington Region Clean Cities Coalition. I'm glad that you all can join us today. We have a uh, good number of speakers for us today. I know that some of you may be watching us live stream on our different platforms, and we want to just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We have some amazing speakers today. You'll hear from Harper Zarker, Jill Merican, Kim Bullock, and also Laurel, myself, and a lot of great things happening in the clean energy space. I also, as always, want to ask you, if you're not a member, become a member. Also, in December, we'll start doing asking people to renew their membership. But if you're not a member, even if you join today, we'll apply your membership towards the 2024 as well. So become a member, and it'll get you through December of 2024. So become a member today, and we'll put that in the chat. As always, I want to mention a couple of things. One is that we have an electric school bus funding webinar, which will be held on November 16th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Be a great way. There's over $5 billion for clean school buses. And so we want to make sure that you are tapping into that funding. So sign up for that webinar, which will be on November 16th at 2 p.m. Also, I want to mention that we have the electric vehicle charging for HOAs and churches webinar, which will be on November 21st at 7 p.m. Be great. Churches and homeowner associations are great places for EV charging. So we'll talk about some of the programs and incentives that are out there to help churches and faith-based organizations and homeowner associations get EV charging. The other two big things I wanted to mention, one is Giving Tuesday is coming up on Tuesday, November 28th. That's that Tuesday right after Thanksgiving. It's a big day across the country where people donate to nonprofit organizations. So we're asking that you, as you think about who you want to give on Giving Tuesday, give for our future as a planet, and support Greater Washington Region Clean Cities with a donation on Giving Tuesday. You'll be getting those pretty regularly. We'll be posting that pretty much every other day leading up to the countdown for the 28th. So make sure that you put us on your list of organizations that you donate to. And you can send our e-blast and share it with your network as well, because when they hear from you, they say, oh, this is a good organization. I need to donate to them. So make sure that you have Greater Washington Region Clean Cities on the list as a charitable tax deduction. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Giving Tuesday, November 28th. So let us help. We want to raise at least $50,000 that day, and hopefully you all can help us reach that goal. December 7th, we're going to have a job fair in Prince George's County, 10 a.m. To 1 p.m. And we love for you all, if you're hiring, to send your folks there. We know that whether you're a public employer or a private sector employer, that many folks have lots of job openings. So one of the things that we're committed to is making sure that people have access to these jobs. So please do that. There are a ton of funding and grant opportunities on the street right now at the federal, state, and local level. If you are a member, please make sure you read our weekly press review that provides up-to-date funding opportunities. Also, today you'll get our November newsletter. It's a couple days late, but It will be out this afternoon. Please make sure that you look at some of those funding opportunities. There is a LEAP, LEAP grant that's coming up that's due in December. There's a Diesel Emissions Reduction Act grant that's due December 1st. There is a number of grants. There's another big US DOT grant around charger repairs, EV charging repair. So there's just so many funding opportunities. I want you all to know if you need letters of support for your application, if you want us to review your application and give you some feedback on your application and any technical assistance, send me an email or one of our team members will look at it. We'll make sure we get you a letter of support. If you need a community engagement partner, whether that project is in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area or around the country, we are here to partner with you. We do things in a lot of different places. And so we actually have two events coming up in December, on December 4th in New York City in the Bronx, and we're doing a community engagement event in Philadelphia on December 5th. So we move all around the country. Our primary area is DC, Maryland, and Virginia, especially Northern Virginia. And if you need us to help you with the grant, support you on the grant, let us know, and we're here to help. So without further ado, I want to start with our first speaker, Harper Zerker, who's president of Gateway International 360. Welcome, Harper. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to go ahead and look at the new technology that is currently with us. We launched that in the last 3-4 months. It's been well accepted in the industry itself, and which is a token technology. And just to let you know, we do have a white paper. So if anybody wants a white paper, they are welcome to go ahead and email me, and I'll be glad to go ahead and discuss the technology with the Washington, D.C. Coalition and other cities in the area. Basically, what it does, it's a Bluetooth technology, doesn't require any internet, doesn't require a gateway, doesn't require a SIM card or singular. Okay, the only thing it requires is a smartphone. And it has a full back end, just like any full-blown EV charging software would have, to provide all the reporting and controls necessary for the federal government, state government requirements. The product itself uses your phone. You download the app, and basically you will scan an OCR code. From that point, you will go ahead and put all your personal information in there, your name, credit card, and so forth. That information, once you do that, is uploaded into Wax or Vonage, Voyager, or it's Stripe. Okay, so once that's done, that information that you put into your phone and so forth is removed from your phone. Okay, the app is still there. So when you pull up to our product and so forth, you will go ahead and request a token. So you go to your phone, you go ahead and you pull up to the charger. The charger will recognize it. You can go ahead and plug in and start. You will get you hit the start button, you will get a token. The token is like a voucher. It will come over and recognize all the information required, and then it will provide you the service and charging your vehicle. Once your vehicle is charged and you hit stop, that token then is the metering gets put onto that token, the voucher, and then that voucher uploads itself directly when you have full connectivity to the pay system, and it pays it automatically. You have the capabilities of an owner to do multiple facets with the product itself, the software. You can go ahead and do different tariffs. You can go ahead and have different tariffs and different bank accounts. You can do anything you want with the product itself. You can also see all the information acquired on that service of that vehicle. It is in the process of being Fed ramp. We expect a letter because it is the cyber security that our product uses than over our competitions out there, especially the big five, does not require the full FedRAMP requirements, and that's being looked at right now. And actually, also the pay system is being looked at by WAX, which is a federal system. And they love the token system. They said this is where the technology is moving to. The issue is that we have the patents on that. Okay, so the system itself has 100% connectivity. Even if you don't have connectivity at the charger, you can actually go ahead and pull up. Prior to that, you always have a free get a token. You pull up, you can go ahead and charge your vehicle, and then when you have full connectivity to the phone system, and that it will upload itself, and payment will be made through one of the payment methods. Okay, so you have 100% connectivity, not like the current systems out there with internet capabilities, cellular, and so forth, which you do get intermittent capability interruptions. So that's one nice feature to it. It's high security without having major cyber issues with the federal government at all. And then third is that it is a annual payment, and the fee structure is very, very reasonable in comparison what the competition is in the marketplace. So this is a game changer in the market. We are getting lots of inquiries and sales from it because they don't want to be involved with the payment side of it, especially the federal government. Don't want to be involved with that. So that's basically the system. You're welcome to receive a white paper from us. You can go ahead and email me, and we'll be glad to get that out sometime next week. Is there any questions at all you would like to ask?
Well, why don't we do is let us go to our next speaker, and we'll come get you all at the end, okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great comments. I'm always intrigued by those tokens. Next, we'll go to Gio from Pioneer E-Mobility and E-Boost.
Thank you, Antoine. Great to be back with GWRCCC. My name is Gio American. Like Antoine said, I'm the president and CEO of Pioneer E-Mobility. We are a division of the publicly traded company, Pioneer Power Solution, NASDAQ ticker symbol PPSI. We are an energy equipment manufacturer, been around for over 30 years. About 4 years ago, we launched Pioneer E-Mobility, or in the industry, we are known as E-Boost. we launched a solution that basically addresses grid gap. The grid gap today could be anywhere from 18 months to over 24 months. And we essentially provide EV infrastructure that's off-grid, sustainably powered either on propane, renewable propane, natural gas, renewable natural gas, and even flared gas technology, which has very low carbon intensity. So, and we continue to iterate on combining with battery technology interfaced or hydrogen as we go along. To date, since we launched officially launched in 2021, we have charged over 200 megawatt hours of energy for you name it, consumer vehicles, EV trucks of all sizes, including up to Class 8, EV buses, and step vans, trucks of all types. And so that's over 12,000 EV charging sessions to date. We are mobile technology, so that means we are there until you need it, but longer term, we're there for resiliency. So in case there is grid congestion or an adverse weather condition, we can step in and help charge and help fleets still manage, even if they're facing dire concerns with the weather. So we produce our product in 4 platforms. We have the smallest one is called the eBoost Mini platform, which is basically delivered on a skid, and it can be moved around with a forklift. The next one is what we call the eBoost Goat, or generator on a truck. So we can make it in different sizes, different deliveries. It's a AAA model of delivering a boost to either fleets or consumers to bridge the gap in EV charging to get to a permanent charging infrastructure. And then we have eBoost Mobile, which are same technology built on a trailer. It can be a small trailer, 8 feet long, up to 53 feet long, that we're delivering to California and Texas later this year for larger applications. We do both level 2 and level 3 DCFC charging on our platform. And then the final platform is the eBoost Pod, which is a containerized version. It is less mobile, but provides up to 8 vehicles of charging, larger platform. So that in a nutshell is the platforms we provide. So our newest inspiration that we're launching a few months ago, John Hunter was on from the Minnesota Clean Cities Coalition, talking about a program called Our Car, or Car Share program. The inspiration behind this was a nonprofit organization trying to launch EV car share applications into underserved communities to accelerate and introduce the transition to EVs and see if it's adoption. And so they've been working with the Minnesota utility to establish these level 2 chargers. In talking to them after the meeting, we found out that they can take anywhere from 8 to 18 months to have the infrastructure installed in a community. So we said, maybe we can help accelerate that. And we got into a conversation with them, and they said, well, we'd like to explore certain communities and see if it's the right community and the community is a good one to adopt this type of a program. But how do we test it without knowing any data? And so what we really do is our units are all connected via a triage method of data collection. Either we do it through mobile data collection or through satellite backhaul, and we provide repository to monitor and analyze the data. And with that data, you could find out if that location that they picked out in a community is the right location for EV charging. How often do they charge? Or should it be 2 blocks away? So we have come up with a mobile solution that can be assembled, level 2 charging for these type of systems on the sidewalk, just almost as mimicked as they install it in the communities today, but can be installed in one day and can also be removed in one day. They're still powered by propane or renewable propane, which is very low carbon intensity, 19% carbon intensity. And the idea here is to help them or companies like that test out communities, give them a way to allow certain communities to try EV charging. And what that could mean is gig economies like Lyft or Uber, who provide EV rentals from Hertz, for instance. They can have overnight charging in the community they live in, and this helps advance job opportunities and different things like that. So we're very excited to launch this product, and if anyone wants, we can share that info with you and how it looks and how it would be deployed. And it can be moved around as easy in less than a day, disassembled and moved. So what we're really addressing is the equity of EV charging, right? Whether it be because there is a geographical limitation, whether there could be a regulatory limitation, like national parks, for instance, right? You don't want to disturb the natural settings by trenching and having power lines go through. We can have sustainably powered EV charging in campsites, for instance. There are lots of areas where it's not economically feasible because it's congested. Let's say multi-tenant home areas where the grid cannot get that type of power into that area. We can provide these type of units to prove both to the community leaders as well as the utility that there is a appetite for adoption. There is a need where people can adopt, and it creates jobs and other opportunities. It brings in more of the delivery services and even managed fleet delivery job opportunities and things like that. So we're excited to help. And if you have any questions, please go to our website. I put it on the chat, and reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to look at a potential solution for you.
All right, thank you. If you could just bear with us for a couple more minutes, and then we'll open up the floor for some questions. Next, we'll go to Kim.
Now, what this is going to require is you're going to have to let me share the screen. Is that okay?
Yes.
Laurel, are we able to do that, or did you you didn't share your presentation?
I can do that now. I wasn't sure if I could do that. I wasn't sure if I was able to do that.
I just made you a co-host. It's fine.
Were you able to do, can I do that?
You're a co-host, so you should be able to present now.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wasn't sure if I was able to do that. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for letting me go ahead and do this presentation. The last gentleman, what was your name? I couldn't pronounce your last. Is it Gio?
That's correct, Kim. It's
okay. Gio. Well, first of all, I want to piggyback off of your presentation, because when I made when I did my presentation, that actually I wanted to do the presentation with the people in mind that would be in need of the charging stations, because I agree that we need to make sure that everyone knows that they have a vested interest. So when I made this presentation, I thought about not only the people that were going to make the purchases, but people that were going to need them. So I did this. This won't take long. I'm not going to, bore everybody with charts and graphs, but this is about the charging trends and then my products at the end, if that's okay. So we know I'm not going to bore you all with charts and graphs. We all know this is GWRCCC. Antoine has given you the data, so I'm not going to do that to you. But we know that these EV chargers, it's all about location, location, location. We know where they need to go: multifamily houses, malls, where we work, airports, highways, homes, and parks. So there's always, which way do we go? Where are we going to charge? I had to use Scooby-Doo and all of them, because it's always a question of range anxiety. We're all scared. We don't know where to go. And there's a level of apprehension. And that's why, it's all about where these chargers go. We know that the states are demanding that these chargers be placed somewhere. Everybody's trying to be like California. These are the states. You see that I highlighted the states that we represent, Maryland and Virginia. Everybody's trying to be like California, but there we are. And we got to look at the money too. I mean, a lot of you all here are businesses, and there's the NEVI program. And then we also have private revenue streams. So with all that being said, there we are. My company that I represent, my company is USB Solar Solutions, but we've partnered with Nudo. And as you can see, we have some beautiful level 3s. That knee deck with the green, and Antoine knows green is a very special color to me because it's one of my sorority colors. The knee deck there with the big screen is actually made exclusively in the United States. And I'm pretty proud of that particular one, because with the US, and I'm not sure what the name of that, I think that's an initiative where if it's completely made in the United States, there are some programs available. And it is a level 3 charger. And we know with a lot of the vehicles, we want that DCFC, the incentive that in 30 minutes, we got a full charge, and Nudo can make that possible. So the thing that I like, and I'm going to show you actually also, if I can show you the catalog that we have. Nudo is pretty, we do have the mobile solutions, and as you can see, they're pretty bulky, but they are also very sturdy, and they do have a look about them. And we do have that mobile capability as well. Let me show those to you. I'm not gonna hold you long. There they are right there. They are movable, and you see the kilowattage and the ampage. If anyone wants this particular catalog, I can get it to you. And like I said, I wasn't going to bore you. This is my company, USB Solar Solutions. And check out my podcast. And I just want you to know, Mr. Thompson, you have a formal invite for the podcast.
Oh, I've been trying to get on there for a year.
I just wanted you to know. They're going to hold you long. Again, we aren't the manufacturer. Nudo is a wonderful company, and they do also offer level 2s, but I know that there is a push for the level 3s because of the MAEP program and the other programs. So if anyone has any, because I know we've got to get through the stakeholders meeting and go through other things, but this is us, and if you have any questions, you can go ahead and catch me. That's my information. We have a new webmaster, so the website is under construction, and you can go ahead and call me with any questions that you have.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. We'll go.
All right, I'm stopped sharing now. Okay.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I'd love to get on your show sometime this month or early next month.
Okay.
Will be fantastic.
All right.
I'll put Diane's email in the chat for you. And we'd love to be able to do that. I did have a couple questions for you.
You want my
Yes.
contact? Okay.
Yeah, I did have a couple questions for the group. So the first question is, I want to ask you all with the new EV incentives being available at point of sale, meaning that they'll be able to get up to a $7,500 um, um, rebate at point of sale beginning January 1st. Do you all think that's going to have an impact on the drive for EV charging and also for electric vehicles? So I wanted to get some feedback on that. We'll start with Gio. What do you think?
Sorry, Antoine. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the um, the biggest driver for all of these incentive programs is kind of the way people are educated about the programs, which is what forums like you are excellent at doing, and the one we're attending in Sacramento, for instance, today. And I think all of the CCCs really help with that. And once people are kind of see the power of what this provides, I think there's going to be a little bit of a mad rush, really, for people who are trying to take advantage of it. But the guidelines and how they navigate through that is always the challenge, right? People are sometimes don't know early enough. So getting the messaging out there early, this is a great forum to do that. And then secondly, getting all of the ducks in a row, so to speak, the paperwork and everything that needs to be done on time. So I think it'll be a phenomenal program, and will drive a lot of activity as it launches through.
Yeah, great. Well, we'll make sure that our stakeholder meeting in January will be great because that's also around the Washington Auto Show. We do events there every year. Like 20, 30,000 people go to that event. And I think that'd be a great opportunity to talk about some of the incentives that will be available, national and regional incentives. I want to give Kim, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that being able now people got to get a credit, being able to get $7,500 at point of sale to reduce the price of electric vehicles? Do you think that's going to have any impact on the demand for electric vehicles and the demand for EV charging?
I think that, and I I can attest to the event that you and I were at a couple of days ago. It's all about knowledge is power, because I noticed even then people were asking a lot of questions. If
They
we
do.
can set up a forum where people are easily equipped with the information and they can articulate and be able to understand, because when you start talking rebates and taxes, they start thinking that people have five heads and they really don't understand.
That's
And
true.
so once you get to that point, you lose them. So with organizations such as yours, companies such as ours, if we can equip them with that information, you may be able to get them to do that. So, I mean, and I know that's part of what you're doing, because you do that and you do it well, but you can't do it alone. We have to assist you. So it's knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you grow, which is the mantra of my podcast. And I'm not trying to say that just to plug, but it's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I completely agree with you that every time, even in our office building, I often get asked questions about so many nuanced things related to electric vehicles and electric cars and the incentives and all that. So there is a lot of education. 90+% of Americans do not own these vehicles. So there's a lot of education. I see our good friend, Mr. Ellis from Pepco. So as we get into January, we will be out at even more events because these incentives will be readily available, and we've got to make sure the communities know about it, right? Because there's a ton of other incentives out there that people have no idea how to access, how to utilize them, and we'll have some recommendations where public leaders and officials and other stakeholders can share that information on that. So we'll make sure we're pushing that, and we'll enlist all of you in that effort. So thank you for that. I wanted to ask, let me see if there are any other questions in the chat before I ask you all a couple more questions. And I know we got to wrap up in about another minute, but I wanted to ask you all, I wanted to ask Zarker about this. He and Geo have these opportunities where people can charge, one without remote charging, and Zarka, I'm really intrigued by the token concept. How's that being received in the industry? And then Gio, if you can share with us how your product is being received with different fleets and AAAs and some of the emergency response services.
Um, I think that in the token goes hand in hand with our mobile unit, which is solar with solar EV charging, which which is on a trailer and can be positioned anywhere in the United States at any parking lot, facility, and that. And what makes it nice with the token system, if you put that solar system with the EV charging somewhere that there is no connectivity, okay, no internet, no cellular, and so forth, you still can charge your product using the token system with no issues at all. So I think that that's where it's going. I know that the federal government is high on the token technology because of the cyber security requirements. We meet all those requirements. We're just waiting for a letter from one of the sponsoring departments, which we're working with DOE, DOD, and also USDA. And the nice thing about it is that our company is a disabled veteran SDVSB company, and that gives us a place at the table at the top of those organizations and selling our software and also our chargers. So I think that overall, one of the things I just want to make a comment because you asked a question before, is that we're seeing the states and the federal government metering money out to the states, and what we're seeing is that the state, I'm not going to mention the states, but they get the money. They actually go ahead and get the money out as quickly as possible. But the problem is there's more charging. There's people out there asking for rebates than there is money. They're metering the money out cautiously. The federal government, so you're seeing a start and stop. One state, they had to stop the program 3 or 4 times because they just ran out of money. So I think that's a major issue in moving programs forward and the speed that the federal government wants to go. So there is a bottleneck there.
Yeah, that's good to know. I know that I sit on the Maryland Transportation Revenue and Infrastructure Needs Commission, and I was looking at the a report that showed a lot of the coastal states, both coasts, are slow getting out the federal money. we got to deal with that. But Gio, you want to get some final comments before we go to get some feedback on our strategic planning process?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we see 2024 as a 10x growth year. Our backlog is strong. As you know, we started out supporting EV bus companies and EV truck companies. But Daphne Dixon from Clean Cities Coalition of Connecticut has done these coast-to-coast rides partnered with us and Hertz, and really started to open up the world into AAA, and really the idea of charging as a service in cities. So Miami, Dallas, and some other cities are where we're partnering with others on this concept of AAA charging, or charging as a service or as a need for range anxiety. So we're excited on that front. But when we look at the EV charging arena, so to speak, the market, the EV vehicles are one we see for 15, 20 years as it matures. But we are already working with electrical vertical takeoff and landing, or basically air taxis. We're working with e-farming companies that are bringing farm vehicles that are going electric. We're working with construction equipment that are going e-bulldozers. So there are jet skis, there are all of these e-vacation markets that are opening up. So we see this continuing, and there's going to be always a grid gap that we're here to support, and ultimately a resiliency where we can support when the grid is facing some sort of restriction. So it is a continuing market for us, and we're excited.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to share, we're going to go to Laurel for a couple quick things related to our strategic plan, but I want to share this with everyone on the call. I am submitting my comments on revenue and infrastructure needs for the state of Maryland on Monday. If you have any ideas that you'd like for me to include in my comments, please get them to me by close of business tomorrow. Just email them to me. I'll put my email in the chat. Anything that you think that deals with transportation for the next 5 to 10 years that you think Maryland should be doing, any ideas, any investments they need, roads, bridges, public, private transportation, fees, etc., technology deployment, all the different fuels, not just electric. Send me an email. I just put my email in the chat. I will be sending my comments over on Monday. Be working on this weekend. So please send me. This is your opportunity to get your stuff right before the commission. So please do that. We have to submit our recommendations to the governor and legislature by January. So I've given a lot of verbal, but I want oral comments and verbal comments, but I want to put them in writing on Monday. So send them to me, and I'll make sure I'll try to incorporate some of your ideas. Okay. All right. So I see someone talked about a funding opportunity. Let me see, who was that? My computer is going slow. I see Chance Parker. Thank you for sharing that yesterday. You want to mention that?
Sure. Yeah. Just notified yesterday. MEA opens a new application window for energy programs, looking for innovation, technology. I think it affords some just subjective discretion on how these programs are and projects are developed. So just trying to dig into some of the details and specifics myself, but thought per your comments it was a timely share for the group.
All right. See, this is why we have these. So thank you for sharing that information. Greatly appreciate it. I know that Jill, our chair of our board, always tries to stay on top of them as well. Not sure if she's still on, but uh, funding from the state of Maryland. So everyone saw that. We'll make sure we get that in our newsletter that's going out today as well. So thanks for um, sharing that with us. Laura, we'll go over to you for the quick info on the strategic planning process. We got a 5-year strategic plan we're working on, and we need all of you involved. Give us some feedback. Laura.
All right, good morning, everyone. So I am going to send over the strategic plan survey, and we would really appreciate it if you all could look it over and fill it out for us. There are some questions in there relevant to you, your organization, what type of fuel types and energy types you work with, and what you want to see from us over the next 5 years. We really want to make sure that we can serve you all to the best of our abilities, and we can't do that if we don't ask you. So it would really be great if anyone who has not already filled out the survey could do so. I did want to also just have a conversation about some of your thoughts. So first and foremost, let me find it. Since we are currently at a GWRCCC event, does anyone have any ideas for what types of events you would like to see in the future?
Don't all jump at once.
Yeah, I'd like to make a suggestion. It would be good to bring some case studies on of projects or collaborations that have worked, funding, successes, fleet, adoption stories. Would love to hear. I think those are not just inspiring, but also it shows how organizations like this bring different factions together and kind of can help raise the bar and raise the tide, so to speak, and help each other. So I'm sure there's a lot of collaboration that has taken place. And if there's some case study, something we can talk about, discuss, I think it would be both inspiring and also motivational for people to really engage in and work together.
Thank you. That's a great suggestion. We literally just got an email. I got an email just last night from the Department of Energy on something like that about trying to do a case study on a successful project of ours around biodiesel. So let's, I think that's an excellent idea. Any other ideas on case studies, on any events that, as Laurel said, you all like to see us do over the next year or two? Bradley, you've been quiet. What would you like to see us do, Bradley?
Let me see. I was sitting here debating on like what I was trying to think of what type of events I would like for you guys to do. I mean, probably give me another second. Give me another second. I'm gonna come up with something.
All right, we're doing a Green Expo coming up in the spring, so that's something you guys should stay tuned as well.
Oh yeah, definitely want to be a part of that.
All right, Mike Lawrence.
Oh, I got one. I got one.
All right.
Okay.
Is there any way that you all could possibly have Gavin Newsom do something like come and talk? Even if, because he is, I mean, come on.
I love that. That's a good idea. We'll try to get him for the
know.
conference next year.
You said what?
We'll try to get him for one of our conferences next year.
Okay. Even if you can get him to record something to say, guys, GWRCC something. I don't know.
Oh, we can get him on Zoom. We'll work on that. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. Maybe get
Okay.
him on one of our stakeholder calls. All right. Would y'all want them in person or Zoom, or it doesn't matter?
Because I'm sure, because with Governor Westmore, I'm sure they've communicated, so that connection you may be able to, facilitate something.
It's DC. Everyone wants to come to DC.
Yeah.
I love it. Mike, you had a suggestion?
Well, yeah. Good morning, everybody. This is the first time I've been on one of your events, and I run a company in Maryland. I'm an economist, and our consulting firm works all over the country on a variety of different energy-related projects. We have a major project right now with the U.S. Department of Transportation looking at facilitating the public-private partnerships in EV charging all across the country, trying to help communities take advantage of the federal NEVI money that's available, and to link up with private sector partners, financial institutions, to provide funding for EV charging systems. So I think this is your event today is very interesting to me. Just listening to the folks talking, Gio's suggestion about case studies. There are people all over the country, including California, as just mentioned, but in many other states and communities around the country, who are trying to get their EV charging systems in place. There are, of course, a lot of requests for proposal out now around the country, asking technology companies and others to make proposals to states, and the amount of federal funding to support those processes is substantial. Up to 80% of the cost of these programs can be covered under the NEVI program. So it's really a great opportunity for communities to take advantage of that. And if you add the public-private partnership components to it, it can really be a benefit to the communities, and an opportunity to take advantage of pretty low cost, pretty good support and incentives provided under the current program. So thank you for allowing me to listen, and I think it's a great program and a service you're doing to the area. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me call on Luis McDonald. You got an event or you'd like for us to bring up next year?
Next year for Hispanic Heritage Month, we're going to have a big Hispanic gala full of dancing and rhythm. But I'm excited about outreach into Baltimore, getting some events in the Baltimore area, and just a lot of good things coming ahead in 2024.
All right. Okay.
Antoine, if I may, I just a quick comment. So on E-Block side, which is our microgrid solution side, so we had a call, our corporate CEO and I had a call with Gavin Newsom a couple of weeks ago. We're doing a project in Middle California for a wastewater treatment plant with a microgrid solution, where the grid is maybe 4 years behind, and we're kind of bringing in solar and other power into it. And we were shocked at the depth of knowledge he had, not just about the technology, but about the project itself. And, it was a 5 a.m. call, and it was incredible how, he was able to get into it in like 15 minutes and really go into deep dive of what the project was. And also, one other suggestion I had for the group is, we've done this in other sessions, maybe one of our in-person sessions, we can do kind of what I would dub a speed dating session, where, different companies that are like-minded would like to work together, can get to know each other in a 10-minute session. Keeps it exciting, moving. Everyone gets to interact quickly and learn about each other and go a little deeper into the relationship, because rather than just a few people talking.
I love it. I love it. We will make sure that happens. Well, folks, we are out of time. We want to encourage you all to, first, let me say thank you for being here today. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you for these wonderful ideas. This is why we have these monthly meetings with stakeholders and the public. If you are online, We'll make sure we put that on our platforms as well, so that you can give us some additional feedback. We will be doing this for the next 3 months. Not that giving feedback and input will stop then, but for the next 3 months, we're going to be really laser focused on trying to chart our course for the next 5 years. So I want to thank you all for that. I also want to thank our staff and our consultants for their participation and their assistance in making these monthly stakeholder meetings. I'm so excited. We're going to continue to grow these. If there is a speaker or two that you would like to hear from at our upcoming meetings, let us know. Some people take a little more time than others to get. But let us know if there's a topic you want to have at one of these meetings, if there's a webinar subject that you want to have outside of this as well, let us know. We are here to help and to serve. Without further ado, I want to thank you all for being here today. Have a great rest of your week. And if we don't see you before Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving. And don't forget about GWRCCC on the 28th for Giving Tuesday. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.